Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, happy Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. So that connection with God, I got a pain. And have that connection with God, you wouldn't like I'm not dressing like the average Christian woman, because everybody thinks it should have a look like all covered up, nothing is showing, turning it. That's not me. And until God calls me out on it himself, I'm going to continue to dress the way I'm comfortable. Now, do I also dress conservative? I think I dress conservative and modest, but other people might think I'm a little bit, I dress a little bit too worldly, and that's to each his own. Only God can judge me. So stop casting my stones and cast your own. Okay, and I don't think I've even talked about this on this page at all, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm led to. God has been, and I'm going to be very transparent. I don't even think I've told you guys this, but I'm led to, and I'm going to be obedient. God has started giving me messages to give to certain people, right? Which he started it a few months ago when I was at my old church. Oh, and I got to tell y'all that I did find me a church home as well. I'm so excited about it. I found me a church home, so I'm happy about that. And I might do a little talk about it with y'all too, but I definitely have me a church home now, so I'm excited about that as well. But when I was at my other church home that I'm so grateful for, like I'm so grateful for that church family that I had, because I grew there tremendously, and I am so grateful for the experience that I had there, how I was shown so many things about me there. But when I was there, I did start, like when I started transitioning out, when I felt like God was telling me that it was time for me to transition, I'm like, but why would I need to leave when you told me to come be here? Like, you told me that you was going to plant me here, and now you're saying it's time to go. Right around that time, I started like hearing, like God would give me messages to give to people then. But then I didn't really understand it because I wasn't hearing him. It was kind of like it would just be in my head, and it would be heavy on me until I was obedient, right? That was twisted. I didn't like that. That was bothering me. Until I was obedient, it would just keep eating at me, like my conscience, really. So then I started delivering the messages then, but I wasn't hearing God, like him actually talking to me. So I should have brought the trash can over here, but I would deliver. I think I did like a couple of messages, not a lot. And it actually was nothing like it is now. Like now it's to a whole different extent. Like it's, oh, wow. It's this wow, like where I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm actually able to see some, like God will send me messages about things too before they happen, like kind of like warnings as well. So yesterday, I'm trying to see how I'm gonna say this, because it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I just don't talk about because God don't lead me to talk about it. So I kind of just go through the motions. And that's why I say all the time, you never know what a person is going through just by looking at them. Everybody has a story, so we have to stop being so judgmental and have certain things happen or whatever to like just let me know what's about to happen. And I did not realize that's what was happening until very recently, when something occurred and I was like, wow. I'm just going to talk about it, but I'm not going to say exactly what happened. But God just kept giving me the date May 25th, 2025. And he started giving me that date in April. And I was like, okay, something is going to happen May 25th, 2025. I'm like, that's really like sticking to me, that date. And I ended up getting some news that something did occur on that date. And it was almost like it was two things that were going to happen on that date, I think. And I didn't really recognize the signs and the clues that it was good and bad happening on the same day until after it happened. I just felt like something bad was going to happen, and then I shifted, and I was like, I'm realizing this as I'm talking because the Holy Spirit is like here. At first I was like, something bad is going to definitely happen. I can feel it. And I was telling my friend, I was like, it's weird. I feel like something is going to happen like bad on this day too. And I even said the person that I thought it was going to happen to, and God be the glory that it did not happen to that person. And then I also got some good news about something in my life would happen on that date as well. So it was like good and bad news, but at different times. And I was just trying to figure it out. But now I know it was good and bad messages because something good and something tragic happened that wasn't good on that date in my life, right? I'm not going to disclose of what it was just yet, but it did occur. And God also gave me messages about that as well before it occurred. And I don't know if I've said this here, like God speaks to everybody different. Every relationship that God has is a whole different relationship. Like I can't compare my relationship with God with yours. You can't compare your relationship with God with your sister. Like everybody's relationship is totally unique, right? God will speak to us in different ways. He will have us do different things and all of that. So for me, and I think I said this on my last video that I posted, God definitely talks to me through YouTube videos, like people that got the prophetic voice, like they can prophesy. So he spoke to me through that. And what normally happens with me, just to give an example, like I told y'all, every morning I definitely get up, I pray. First thing I do, if I don't do nothing else, if I don't do anything else and I'm just too drained to do anything else, I'm going to pray. I journal to God, like I write to God in my journal. And then I read the Bible. At first I was reading books, and sometimes I will read books. Still, like just be like, I'll read a book. The last book I read was, and I didn't finish it, was Esther. I think I'm halfway through that one. And then sometimes he'll just tell me to read a scripture, meditate on that. Or sometimes he'll tell me to read a chapter in a book. So it all depends on what he leads me to do. But for a while, he was literally just like, read the whole book of Matthew, read the whole book of Mark, read the whole book of Luke, John, and so on and so forth. That's what he would have me do. But now it can just vary. So he had me do that, and I'll do that. And then sometimes I'll feel led to document, and then I'll just go into looking at the word on YouTube. Rather it's somebody preaching sometimes. And for me, it's literally like, I don't choose what I'm going to watch. I'll just be on there. And now it's so like, that's all I look at is like the word. I do look at other stuff too that's not just Christian based, but I try not to look at like the real worldly stuff, like a lot of cussing and just negative stuff. So what I do is I just go on to YouTube and I see where God leads me to watch, like literally, and I just watch it. And he'll speak to me through that sometimes. And sometimes if it's not a video that's meant for me, it wasn't him leading me to it, so it doesn't resonate with me. So I did that. And a lady that I watched, like I said, Bold for Christ. And this is why I talked to y'all about this on my last video, because I don't know if the incident had occurred yet or not. I forgot when I posted the video, but her messages literally told me what was about to occur. And it started all the way in April. Was it April or March? I can't remember, but somewhere up in there, and it just was. It was like small little things at first, and then it was like large. Now that I think back in my head, like it was big stuff, like head on, this is what's about to happen, right? And that's the good and the bad. Like both of them was very clear, but then I did not know because I'm just now on this journey, right? So, the thing that happened that was not good, I got news of that first, right? And and it's something that's very traumatic. It's sinking in, and I haven't been posting the way that I should because of that, because God has been tugging on me with this situation and just how I need to do things differently for other people in my life. So I have been slacking on posting as much. So that happened, still dealing with it, still going through the process with that. My good thing started to happen. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I was with family and I was telling them something. They was like, "Oh, you're a prophet. You're a prophet." And I'm like, I didn't really say nothing. I just kind of like, okay. And then I was like, but no, I'm not. Like, I'm not. That's not what I am. Like, I don't think God called me to that. I just think I have a connection with God that just leads me to, connect with him in a very intimate way. So I reached out to and it had been tugging on me for a while, but when he said it yesterday, I'm like, no. But that's just like when somebody asked me if I was an evangelist. Remember I told you, like, if I evangelize, I was like, no. And the prophet was like, "Oh, you can't lie to me. I see everything." And I'm like, I'm not lying. I just don't know what exactly that is. And I'm not going to say I'm something when I'm not. Like, I haven't went to school for anything. And that's literally where my head was at with it. Like, I don't know what that is exactly. So I'm not just going to claim that I'm something that I'm not. Right. So I started doing my research and I was like, oh, okay. So it's basically what I do on YouTube. I'm just talking about God to people. Like, that's just what I feel led to do or whatever. Okay. But that's called, so that's where I was at with it. Okay. So, okay, I guess that is me. I evangelist to people. I talk to people about God and draw them closer. So I'm an evangelist. I think that's what it's called. I don't know how to say it the correct way, I don't think. But y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I was like, okay, that's me. So now I'm here with this. And it's just like the closer I get to God, the more things that people are saying that I am. So last night, because this happened just yesterday, where my family member said this to me. And I was like, I don't even know how I reacted. I just know I was like, no, don't tell nobody that, because I don't want nobody, that's where I was at with it. So I reached out to my spiritual mama and I was like, okay, can you tell me what a prophet is? Like, what is that? Like, explain to me what it is. And she told me, and I said, would that be me? And she said, well, it could be. And she said, and she asked me XYZ. She was like, do you, I forgot how she said it. And I'll probably screenshot it and put it somewhere in here. But she was like, basically, do God give you messages to give to other people, is basically what she said. And I'm like, yeah. And she said, so, yeah. And I said, okay. And I forgot what I said in it, but in my head, I'm like, okay. And then I was even talking to my friend about it too. And I was asking her if she thought I was. And she was like, now, Camila, you already know the answer to that. Because God gives me a lot of messages to give to her. And it's like dead on. Like the stuff that I say to her, she'd be like, girl, and I'm like, how did you know that? I'm like, I did not know. Like God told me, right? But she was like, you already know the answer to that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's the same thing I was saying. I'm not. And she was like, girl, no, you are. She was like, that's what you're doing. Like you do it all the time and you're doing it more and more and more. That's what you are. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't feel like that. And she said, why? She said, but when you give everybody else a message and you tell us stuff and then we don't listen to you, you're all in your feelings. But when he's talking to you and putting it in your face, then it's okay for you to deny it. And I'm like, no, because I don't know. It's I guess it's hard for me to process it. But it does make a lot of sense. Like even, some of the things from when I was younger, like when I was younger, and I don't know if I told y'all this, like I would see my sister would, anytime I would be really upset, I don't know, I get so emotional, but anytime I would be really upset, I would see my sister. And y'all know my sister passed away. I was 2 and she was 9. And I would see her a lot when I would get upset. And I think I may have even blocked some of it out just because of traumatic things that happened in my childhood. And I saw my auntie, I didn't see her, but different things would happen where I would know that it was her. And this is my auntie that passed away years ago. I had my Aunt BJ. Well, we called her Aunt BJ. Her name was Brenda Joyce. And she passed away when I was probably 25 or something like that. And I remember I had got this lamp and took it to my house that she had. I had got a couple of other things. Everybody grabbed little things that they would like. And I had this lamp, and it was like a lamp that you turned the knob like was on the base of it, and you would turn it to cut it on. You would turn it to cut it on, and you could touch it, and the lamp would just come on all of the time. And it would scare me. And I'm like, why is this lamp coming on like this? Like when I don't be cutting it on. I'm like, we wasn't doing that at her house. So one day I just was like something, now I know it was God, just said, tell her to stop because it's making you uncomfortable. And now I know that was God. I didn't know that then, and I can still like see it in my head and everything, y'all. So I said, Aunt BJ, I said, that really scares me. Like, please stop doing that. Don't do it no more. Please don't do that no more. And she never did it again. I didn't know then that was anything. Like, I just thought nothing of it. Let me see. And I don't know if anything else happened with anyone else after that. I'm trying to think in my head. I'm sure it has, and I just didn't know. Like I'm saying, what it was at that time, because I wasn't spiritual like I am now. But here lately, it's just been a lot more intense. And I'm going to talk about my story that I want to share, but right now it's too fresh for me to share it. And I don't want to share it with anyone. I haven't even been talking to people about it that knows what has happened. But it's a lot of things that has transpired just through this time. In these last few weeks, where it's like, it's crazy. Even the journey that I'm taking in my life is based on what God has told me to do. It's not based off of me. And I don't think that's the prophetic gift. I think that's just the intimate connection with God. So, and I think that's where I got confused at. So my spiritual mama / counselor, she told me that we needed to work. Like, I needed to meet with her so we can, like, I got chills, y'all, because like, he's like in here as I'm talking about this, which lets me know confirmation. This is what I need to talk about or whatever. But she just said that I needed to, like, me and her needed to start meeting about it, so I would learn how to deal with it. And she was just telling me, when people know that you had that gift, like she's like, certain things that I need to watch out for. So I'm talking about it for the first time here. I'm somebody like, and that's what I was telling my friend, like, I just don't want people asking me, like, do you see anything with me? Do you hear anything? Have he said anything to you? Like, I don't want those type of things. I'm always going to tell people, whomever God gives me a message for, I'm going to deliver it. And I have had to deliver hard messages where people have stopped talking to me, or people have been in their feelings, or I have just been lingering on messages, or God telling me to do stuff for people. And now that I think about it, one of my I'm about to get emotional, I should have got Kleenex, but one of my sisters from my church, she was a big help to me with just like when I first started, God first started telling me, because one of the first things he did was start telling me to pray for people. And he would I would be praying for them. I'm gonna grab a Kleenex, but I'm gonna still be talking. I would be praying for them. Like, I would just start out doing just a general prayer, like a regular prayer, just praying for the person or whatnot. Oh, y'all, I don't use this whole box of Kleenex. Just praying for the person or whatnot. And then as I'm praying, it would kind of go into exactly what I needed to pray for, right? So that's how it would go with that. So I was telling her that God was telling me to pray for somebody, and this person, it was very hard for me to pray for them just because of circumstances and stuff. And I wasn't sure. I'm like, because it was new to me. And this person just helped me drastically. And I think I'm going to give her a call and actually talk to her. Because she's somebody from the old church, and I did, like, when some people reached out, and I was straight to the point, but when she, not disclosing of too much, but with her, I think I kind of explained a little bit more in depth about what was going on with me, and because she helped me. Like, she didn't know that I was transitioning. I don't think I told her that. I don't think I shared with her, like, I was feeling like I was being led to leave the church. I don't think I shared that with her, but she did know that I was growing spiritually. And she just told me a lot of things that God confirmed, because obviously she has the gift too. And she just helped me embrace when God is telling you to do something, do it. And be obedient to him. And it's just helped me to grow today, and I will be forever so grateful to her for that. And I always tell people, anybody who has gotten me where I'm at in my life, I am so grateful for people who got me here. And I remember I told her, I said, well, God is telling me to, I had already talked to her about a situation that was going on in my life. And God led me to talk to her about it. And I remember telling her, I was like, God keeps nudging me to talk to you, but I feel like you're going to be having me do stuff that's uncomfortable. So I've been lingering on it, and I was like, but I can't linger anymore. Like, he's telling me I need to talk to you. So I called her. That's what I said when I called her, and we kind of just talked, and she just told me that she saw me preaching, and I think she said something else, and I was like, no, I don't see myself doing that. And she definitely wasn't the first person to say that. My actual pastor that I had, he also said the same thing. And right after I left the church, when God just went on ahead and transitioned me out, which it was a long transition out. Like, it wasn't like one day I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to be there anymore. It was like I was praying. I was really asking God for clarity, because I loved my church. It was small. It was intimate. And then God just started shifting things and showing me, like, yeah, I'm having you transition out, But through that process, he was also growing me in a different way and showing me a lot of different things. So when I talked to her about that, about the God was leading me to pray for this person, and she basically told me what I needed to do, and I needed to do it, not waiting, do what I needed to do. And so I was obedient, I think that same day. Oh no, she didn't tell me not to wait. She just told me that I needed to be obedient. And then my spiritual sister that I had from my previous job, I talked to her about it that same day as well. And she prayed for me, and she did all that stuff too. And she's also has the gift. And she said, you cannot sit on it. Like, you need to do it now. God said that you have been prolonging this for a while. And he said now. And I had been prolonging it for a while. Like, I think it had been like 2 months maybe. So that day I got off the phone with her, and I did an audio message, and I recorded it, and I sent it to the person. And my hardest thing when I first started this journey was, how was they going to respond? And y'all know that's not where our mind is supposed to go. Our mind is just supposed to be going like, how soon and how can I get this message out that God is telling me to deliver? Or how can I go ahead and pray for this person like God is telling me to? But in my mind back then, it was like, oh, what if they get mad at me? What if they start telling people that I did this? And what if it makes stuff worse than it already is? And that's where my head was at with it. But back then, but I was still obedient. I did it. And I don't know if they told people or talked about me. I don't know. But I'm okay. I'm still alive, and ain't nothing happened. So, but I definitely did do it. I was obedient. And I did it, and I felt great. So that was one of the first things that was real drastic, where God was just telling me to. And then he also, like I said, told me to do it with people at the church. And but I'm grateful for my gifts. I am grateful for them. But I noticed the more intimate I get with God, and the more I connect with him, the more that he shows me. And y'all, I have so much that I could tell y'all. Like, it's like I have so many journals and notebooks that I'm writing things in, and just stuff that's up here that God has shown me that I just can't share with y'all just yet. But just know, anytime you feel like God is nudging you to do something and you feel it in your spirit, like, it's most likely it is what it is, and it's true. And I'm gonna also tell y'all this, like, I've been so offended by people that I thought was God had sent to help me grow spiritually and all of these things, and then they just stopped reaching out to me like I did something wrong. And maybe they did think I did something wrong, I don't know. But then I realized, like, with that, like with pastors and ministers and deacons, maybe even first ladies, and anybody, people with spiritual gifts themselves, and all of that I would ask all these questions to all of the time, I realized that God moved them away from me so I could get more close to him, because I was utilizing them to figure out God. And God's like, you don't need them, you need me. So through this journey, I realized that's why he moved so many people out of my life. And at first I was crying. I was so hurt. I was like, this person said that they would always be here, and they said that they were going to help me through my journey, and this, that, and the other. And now I know, like, even if they choose to leave because of negative things that were said about you through people who were offended by you giving a message, or people who's just offended by your personality, or people who just may not like you, period, just because they don't like you, or maybe because somebody says something about you to them and they want to ride with it, and they got this person to jump on the wagon too. It does not matter. And that's where I'm at now. Like, it does not matter, because all the people who genuinely know me and genuinely love me and on this ride with me, and they riding away, they already know who Camilla is and how I am. Some people will take me the wrong way just because of my personality, and I'm so outspoken. And now I know that's also a sign that you're one of God's chosen one. Like, my personality is proof in itself. Me being like no one else in my family is proof in itself. When people see my family, and I'm not just talking about one side of my family, both sides of my family, especially my daddy side, I'm like nobody in my family except for one person, and she stands out. Like, she has so many gifts and stuff like that, spiritual gifts. And when I first started my journey, I did reach out to her, but God blocked that as well because he wanted me to have a relationship with him and not other people. So you have to really, really remember that. If God is not placing certain people in your life, do not put people in those shoes to help you with your journey. Like, you have to allow God to send you those people, and not you just place those people. It has to be through God. And most of the time it's gonna be the people that you are intimidated by. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all, the sister in the church, I told her that she intimidated me. I flat out told her that I was scared to talk to her because I was intimidated, and not because like, oh, she's mean or nothing like that. It was just like, oh, I think she can like see through me or something, and I don't want her to like see something that I don't want nobody to see. Or I was saying she might tell me to do something that I don't think I want to do, or so it was like avoidance. And I told her that I was like, I've been scared to talk to you. I'm like, and don't think because I just would speak to her like, hey, and that was it. But other people I would have like these long drawn out conversations with, and that was why, because I was just scared of the unknown. Like, I could feel it. Now I know that was a gift too, because I knew. And when I talked to her, it was more confirmation, because she did. I remember one Saturday we were in choir rehearsal, and she know I was this timid, shy person. And I do think it was after I talked to her about me needing to pray for someone out, and I was uncomfortable with it. And I was standing up to go do something, and she was like, okay, Sister Camila, I want you to pray for us before we start choir rehearsal. And I'm like, I said, me? I'm like, why me? And she was like, because you were standing there, go ahead and pray. And so I did it, but I was so uncomfortable. And I think that's what it was with me. Like, I knew she would get me out of my uncomfortable zone. Like, I do know if I was still at the church, like, with her, because I was going to sing my first solo, like, that Sunday. I think that Sunday before God told me to leave. And y'all, I worked so hard on that solo. Like, I really worked. I gave my all. I was so excited, but God told me, that was it for me. And I wanted to be, and I remember I spoke to people about it. I cried. Oh, y'all, I cried so hard when I had to leave that church. I was so hurt. I cried like a baby. I cried like I was divorcing a husband or something. Like, I was so hurt by leaving the church. But I had been praying about it, and God had gave me my confirmation, and I had to be obedient to him. But I was so excited about singing the song. And I remember when we had to, because they made it where everybody had to pick a song or pick two songs or something like that. And then they had like this little thing, and we had to pull out the hat to figure out what song that we would sing. And we did all of that, and it was just things that brought me out of my comfort zone. Like I was so uncomfortable, and it was like, no, you need to step out on faith. And God was like, just think about me and you. So, in the song that God chose for me was a hard song. It was Deliver Me. What's her name? Oh, but Deliver Me. Deliver me. 'Cause all I seem to do is hurt me. That song. So that was the song. And it's like a really soprano song. And I remember she told me, she was like, girl, I can't, 'cause she's a soprano. And she was like, I can't even do that song. I can't believe that you picked that song. She was like, but I have faith in you. And I did not pick the song. Actually, one of my sisters from that church picked that song and gave it to me to sing it, and through God. And so I was just obedient. I didn't even know the song, y'all. I didn't know the song. I don't think I had ever heard the song. And me and my other sister that I'm really close to now, Nikki, we would go to brunch every day after choir rehearsal. And we had, I don't know if we had ate or we were about to eat. I think we had already ate, and we were sitting in one of our cars. I don't know if it was hers or mine. We were sitting in a car, I think it was mine, and we was just like singing for each other. Like, so that was the first time she heard me sing, and I was singing, I think Tamara, what's her name? Shoot, I forgot what song it was too. I forgot what song it was, y'all. But I was singing that song for her because I really... Take me to the King. That song. Yeah, I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. You know, so I was singing that song for her, and she was like, oh, sis, you have a good voice. I was like, girl, whatever. I know I don't. I'm like, but thank you for the compliment or whatever. And she was like, no, you do. You really have a nice voice. And she was like, this song will be great for your voice. And she put that song on, Deliver Me. And I was like, oh, it's nice. But I didn't know the words at the time. I just knew I love the song, and I would die, of course, to have her voice. Oh my gosh, y'all, I would die to have her voice. So I was like, yeah, that's a nice song. And I kind of just put it on my immediately I put it on my little playlist for me to start listening to the song, because I really liked it. And I ended up, that was the song that I was going to sing. And it is a challenging song, don't get me wrong. It's a challenging song, but I feel like I was able to execute it. I still sing it to this day just because I don't want to lose my voice. I'm going to try to join a choir at the church that I'm at now, because like I tell y'all all the time, this is my gift. I do know most of the things that I do in my life, the gifts that God has placed upon me, is stuff with my vocals, like talking, singing, like just all of that, things with my voice. So I know that for sure now. And I've always loved to sing, but I ain't never thought I was the best singer. Like, I ain't never thought I was the old Camila, you got the best voice in the world, right? But I'm gonna play a little bit of Deliver Me right now for y'all.
Say it again, hold up. Rescue me from myself, from my overthinking. That's right, Now let's take it up, choir. Let's take it up.
So this is her. Okay, so that was the song. So I was going to sing that, and I was so excited, y'all, but God told me it's time to shift. So I was obedient and I did that. So that was me just hearing him for myself. But then now, wow. But I can say this. The first time that I did hear God, it wasn't even a message from me. It was from someone that I really, 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 truly love, right? And it was for them and what God wanted them to do. And I was scared. And I remember I had just started my journey or whatnot. And I reached out to I didn't reach out to her when we had our session. I kind of told her that I had just told her that God was basically talking to me for this person, like telling me stuff. And she prayed and we did all of that stuff, and she was like, well, hold on to it now, don't release it yet, and stuff like that. But I just want y'all to know that the process and the journey with God, the closer you get to him, the more things will be discovered about yourself. Like the more intimate you get with God, like things will be, it will be boldly. And I remember when I first started my journey for real, that's what I saw, bold. And it was like everything just started being boldly shown to me. So when you start your spiritual journey, don't be afraid. Oh, I do. It's some stuff that I do struggle with still. But a lot of choices that I'm making in my life, people may not understand. But it's because of God. Like even like some people that's still in my life that I thought should be out of my life, and God told me otherwise, and vice versa. People I thought that would be in my life, and they're not in my life because God removed them. Like my mom literally was just making fun of me yesterday. We was in the car because me, my mom, and my daughter, all three of us was together, and I forgot, I think we was like impersonating like each other or something, and she was acting like me, and she was like, well, she was like, and if I ask you if you're going to the store today, you'll be like, no, I don't know. If God tell me to go to the store, then I go to the store. But if God tells me to sit still, I'm going to sit still. And then my daughter looked over at me. She said, She said, she always come to you and say, well, God said this and God said that. I said, I don't care about y'all making fun of me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I said, but y'all be loving the messages that I give y'all, and y'all be happy for them. It's like, yeah, we do be. And, I was just saying, yeah, I said, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what God tells you to do. Everywhere that you're at around everybody, you're always supposed to bring him up in topic. God is supposed to be the center of everything. So I'm going to continue to do that. And I said, but y'all loving the energy that I'm bringing, right? And it's like, yeah. So that's what I just want you to say. Be intentional. Enjoy the process. It will be hard days. It will be tough days. It will be days that you struggle. Like even my oldest daughter came to me because of some of the things that was shown to me a couple of weeks ago or last week. And she was like, Mama, she said, you got this. I know it's getting tougher the more you grow spiritually. She said, I remember when I had that gift, she said, and I prayed for it to be taken away. She said, and now I regret that because I don't think I could ever get it back. She said, so I do regret that. She said, I just didn't know how to handle that. I was so scared. And I told her, because I felt bad. I'm like, I feel like I failed you because had I been being obedient to God, I would have been way past where I'm at now, and I would have been able to help you through it. And I have said that before. My kids have the gift. Alicia has the same gift, but Alicia's gift is different, and one day I'll see if she's comfortable talking about it. But Alicia has she sees a lot of things with people that she don't even know, like stuff that may be on the news or something like that. Alicia see it before it happens. So that's her gift that I don't even know. She is like it's been a lot of Amber Alerts and stuff like that she has saw before they happen. Right. And even, yesterday, she was kind of uneasy not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, uneasy. And she was saying she felt like something might happen. And I told her, well, we have to pray about that because we can reverse it. And if something was going to happen yesterday, it definitely was reversed because the outcome was great. So, and that's what my spiritual, mom told me to do. Like you can pray for things to be reversed. You can definitely do that. And that was one of the things that she told me to start telling Alicia to do. So I tell Alicia to do that, and I'm assuming that she has started doing that because her energy is totally different than what it used to be. But I feel like had I been where I'm at now, I would have been able to help my oldest with that as well. And then it's funny, y'all, because my sunshine is not my biological child. Y'all know that. I've said it several times, but he also has gifts too. His is different. Like he's more like The word comes easy to him, like scripture comes easy to him. He can apply scripture to everyday life very easy, like that. Give him a scripture and he's like spitting out what it means and just translating it into English form that we speak now. So like I think he does have the gift of evangelizing. I think that's his gift, because I know when he was going to school out here where I'm at, he was like, they be calling me preacher boy at school because he would, I guess, talk about God all the time. So I do see that gift inside of him. I definitely see that gift inside of him because he's passionate about it. If he's around people that's like really into the word and reading the Bible, like he's here for it every day. If you like, come on, let's go do. He's like excited to do it. Like he has a passion for it, right? If it's not, it has to be a certain way, but if it's not boring for him, he's absorbing it like a sponge. So my kids are very in tune with it. I think Elijah, out of all three of them, he's the one that's more receptive to it. Like, okay, if I can do this, then come on, we're going to see how this works. Leisha is a praying warrior. That's something else about her. That's her gift. Like, baby, she will spit out a prayer for you that will knock your socks off, but she doesn't like to pray around people out loud. She'll do it for me if I'm struggling. She'll do it in front of me and Elijah. I don't even think she's done it in front of her sister. I know she hasn't done it in front of anyone else except for me and Elijah. And she's a great praying warrior. She can pray like an adult. Also, how I know she's gifted is her favorite book, her favorite version of the Bible is King James Version. I'm like, girl, I be struggling with King James. So and for real, that's her favorite version. When I told her, let's look for another Bible, because she was growing up, she wanted King James. Like my King James Version that I had, when she said that, I'm like, girl, here, you can have this, because I can't understand none of this. I'm struggling. But so she's good with that too, like just breaking down scripture and and all of that. So my kids had a gift. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for them and their gifts, and I'm glad that they're embracing them. My oldest daughter, like I said, she did pray it away. She asked God to take it away. But like I told her, you can pray and you can get your gifts back. Like you can, and if you draw closer to him, he probably didn't even take them away. It was you just walking away from him. Because remember, he don't walk away from us. He stay in place. It's us that moves away from him. And that will shift things drastically, right? So like I told her, that can always come back. But I just want y'all to stay encouraged. This video. And I think it's because a lot of people look at me and they think something different than what I am. I am a woman of God. I am a woman of God. I might not talk like every woman of God, and I'm just like everybody else talk this very spiritual because I'm Camila, and this is how he created me. But he also wants me to deliver his word. He also wants me to pour into others. He also wants me to tell people about his glory. He also wants me to help people with their mental health and all of those things. So regardless of who y'all see on my outer shell, it's about what's in here that's important. And before I started my journey with God, I've always been a person who loved to help. I've always been a nurturer. It's always been in me. Just now I know exactly what the purpose is that I do and why God wants me to do it. Like I know why I'm here, and I have a lot of big things and like a lot of stuff that's just going on in my life. Some stuff is shaky, some stuff is not shaky, and I'm like, yay. And then other stuff is like, I can't wait to see where I'm gonna be at and where it's going, but I'm here for all of it. And I just wanted to encourage y'all. Anybody who's it's a young lady that I like to watch, Capriciana. She's a young girl, and today she just popped up that she was going live, and I was watching it, and that's what she was talking about. Is like she's a young girl, and she sounds like I did at her age, and I just want y'all to know, like, it will be okay if you're struggling. God is not expecting us to get this thing perfect. He just wants us to honor him and glorify his name and draw people closer to him, y'all. And we can do this. We can do this. If he give you a gift and you're one of his chosen ones, embrace it. I don't care if you got tattoos all over your body. I don't care if you got piercings all over your body. I don't care if you're stripped in the daytime and you strip at night, and in the daytime you a school teacher, and on Sundays you're going to church. It doesn't matter. Don't let the world define when he's going to forgive you, what it looks like. None of that. Yes, we all know what God says for us not to do and what we should do, but stop letting people put us in this box to stop us from doing what God wants us to do. Yeah, Camila might wear clothes that's fitted. Camila might not talk like the average person that a Christian person. I probably can't quote a scripture by just by off the top of my head. I'm not walking around just with my holy oil and praying over everybody. I'm not doing all of that. And why should I have to do that to be a woman of God? Why can't I talk the way that I want to on my platform without people saying what I should not say, how I should say it, what I should not post on my page? Like, all of those things right there is things where people are trying to put you in a box that they feel like you need to be in, and let God call you out on it. And when he calls you out on it, that's when you change it, or when you know it's the people that God has put in your life to call you out on it. That's when you change it. Stop placing people in your life that you think can help you get closer to God when he hasn't did it. Because it's people in my life that I did not ever think. Like, it's a young lady that I knew when I worked at a daycare with her. And when I first started my spiritual journey, and she's on my page too, Alyssa. When I first started my spiritual page, like God was pushing me like really hard on me to like reach out to her. Every time I would get on social media, I would see her and she would be saying something. And then I started being interested in the church that she went to. I was interested. I was going to Bible study with that church, and she saw that I was going to Bible study there. And then I couldn't get into the link, so she would have to, I ended up reaching out to her because I couldn't get to it. And I asked her if she could send me it every Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday that did it. And she would do it. And then I know that was God telling me, this is somebody that's going to help you grow, right? And now she's that person. And then, of course, my spiritual mother is that person. Not the young lady, because I think she's older than me, but she's still a young lady. She's not like really older, but even her from my old church, she is another one of the people as well. My best friend, Andrea, who's a Catholic, is another person that God placed there. I didn't place them. God placed them. And my other sister, that I met through, I guess her husband or the church or whatever, however you want to say it. She's another person. And all of these people have different roles that they play in my life. And it was some people that I just picked because of their spiritual, because I liked the way that they taught, or I just liked the energy that they brought when it came to being spiritual. And I thought that they were my person, and God blocked some of them. Like, he literally blocked it. And I don't know the reason, but I know that he did block it. Whether it was a reason that they chose, like I said, because of circumstances or whatever, but it was blocked. So all I'm saying is, make sure it's God that placed those people in your life for your spiritual journey. Don't just pick people for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and jump off, because I have to do my unboxing and my Shein haul. But I have enjoyed this time with y'all. I can't wait to edit this video and post it. Bye, y'all.